There's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's to the 15. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. DK Metcalf, 71 yards. And the Steelers are on the board first here in Vegas. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here's Smith. They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Geno now to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Phillips. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now, he's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now Geno. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. Here's Rudolph off play action. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Rudolph. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Rudolph throwing again. And that one too wide and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rudolph. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 1st down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Smith now to throw. Mostert bringing in the quick throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run here with Mostert. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
A run with Mostert up the middle. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Throwing now is Geno. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. He might be being set up here for a busy ball game already. 2 kicks here in the 1st quarter, and he's knocked both through the posts.
And for now, you know they'll be happy getting those 3 points, but what they really want is to find a way for him to kick extra points instead of field goals.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Warren will try the right side. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's 3rd and 7. Rudolph. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. 2nd down and 6 now. As they've got it as we resume action. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On the give, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Rudolph. A short one there to Freiermuth. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Rudolph. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Smith. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Austin. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff for Warren. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On the run, it's Warren. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the game. Starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pick.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a run with Warren. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They'll run it. Warren. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Now Smith. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back to throw, Smith. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Open man is Myers. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. To the air again, Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Out of the gun, Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. Toward the sideline, intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Open man is Tucker. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Smith. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Smith. It's Myers again with another catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Jacoby Myers, 61 yards. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Geno. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Myers.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the gun, here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Phillips. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down. They hand it off to Mostert. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On third down, here comes Mostert. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Eric Stokes in on the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half, Stein has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 51 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Rudolph now to throw. His throw incomplete. George Pickens, his intended receiver there, and it's third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Rudolph. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be fourth down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Throwing now is Geno. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Austin. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Warren. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Rudolph. And he is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the 1st down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Running left, it's Warren. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and 5. Now run straight ahead with Warren. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Now it's Rudolph. Got his man, it's Warren. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Boswell's kick is good, and the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Geno now to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Flush to his right, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
On 1st down, Warren. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
The offense on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Up the middle they go. Warren. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Here's Smith. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That would have been a nice one to hit on in a tie game. You start to think that one big play, maybe the next big play, could turn out to be the game winner. They took the big shot, but it winds up incomplete.
Smith. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken at around the 40. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action. It's Rudolph. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Back to the air. Rudolph to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Rudolph. And he's got it. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Boswell's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 21-yard line. 148 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to go. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Back to throw, Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Over the middle, complete. It's Phillips. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. Here's Smith. That's to Bowers once again. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Now 1st and goal. Smith's going to throw it. Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers from 10 yards out. And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
They've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And the kick is good, so you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet, but until then, this game's over. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.